Hello, Saif. Welcome. I'm so happy to see you.
Thank you, Shahd. It's a great honor to be in your show.
Want to know more about you. We have collaborated together. What's behind your music? The feelings, the connection, what inspires you? Tell me a bit about yourself and what brought you into music in the first place.
Well, it's a long story, but
Oh,
I'm just gonna be brief. Basically, I was born in Iraq and I was raised in Iraq. So since my childhood, my very first childhood, I used to listen to radio all the time, and there used to be lots of like programs on TV about music, general music, Arabic music, European music, classical music. So the way I was like, raised is like I just have like lots of music in my head.
wow. Would you say it's in your blood?
Well, it gradually will get to you, because like, it's just like, wherever I was going, I could feel there's like a music. And, I had like a music, from like, coming from like, TV, radio, from the neighbors. I used to attend weddings. I used to attend gigs when I was like really, really little. And I had so many stories like, like with musician, with bands when I was little. Um,
Wow.
so like gradually, I just like felt, I need to like, put this into practice.
Saif, do you think as an Arab boy from a young age, that was your way of expressing your emotions?
Well, to be honest with you, it's not just being Arab. It could be, any other like nationality. Because I just feel music. It's like it's an international tool for
Mhm.
anyone really. Um, Particularly myself, I think it's a great tool to express my feelings through music.
It's beautiful, but growing up in that culture, because my background, I'm very familiar. I have brothers. So it was easy for us to openly express how we feel. So we kind of find tools to enable us to express these emotions.
Yes.
So for you, did you have that connection with music that you felt alive and it kind of spoke to you?
We certainly have. I mean, the thing is, like, to me, music, it's not just like something that you do just for to entertain yourself. It's a way to express. I see it as a remedy as well. I see it as a therapy. I see it. It's a great way, to communicate with people.
I agree with you, Sis. Music shifts from something you enjoy to something you need, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I mean, as like most of us, like there's lots of people they cannot survive without listening to music on a daily basis. Um, like even like I see people like people walking around with their headphones on, they're listening to music. People when they drive, they listen to a radio station. So it's just we need to listen to music to first to calm us down. Okay, and to relax, and also like because it's a way to like to cheer us up.
Exactly. Do you feel growing up that you would have loved this as a profession?
To be honest with you, I wasn't seeing this as a profession to start with. I mean, the way it started is like I enjoy music. I enjoy like different types of music. Um, so step by step, I started to study this. I mean, I studied A-level music in Holland Park School. Uh,
Ma-
so that was like my first approach. Is like to understand what's about the music concept, the music methodologies. Um, I was trying to understand like the concept, learning the scales, uh, because basically I wanted to explore my knowledge, and
Yes,
then one thing led to another. So like first, you get to know where is the basic of music, and then later on, the next step obviously is facing audience. So while I was doing my A-level music, we were doing like gigs like every now and then. So this is when you face the audience. This is like part of of our study in music is to face audience.
Safe, do you feel there's two versions of you? There's a different version of you on stage, and there's another you behind closed doors.
This is a very unique question. I'm just being 100% honest with you. I mean, me as a person, I'm a very shy person. I'm a very, very shy person. I don't really like click with people quite easily. But when I'm on stage, I just feel I'm totally different person. I just feel like I'm always on fire. So lots of people, they think, my strength, it comes, with facing audience.
Why do you think there is a person on stage that feels confident, not scared of being who he is, but when we step away, we feel we are vulnerable?
Mm. This is like something which I'm trying to analyze right until this very moment. It's just because sometimes I feel, as a person, I feel there's always barriers. But when I feel I'm holding my instrument and playing music, I feel, all these barriers are vanishing.
Do you think it's finding who you are in that moment? You feel this is me 100%.
I would say this is me 100% when I'm on stage. And what I enjoyed the most is seeing, like, the smile on people's faces. um this is the message I get, that they are enjoying my music, which like, it pushes me to bring more of my emotions, more of, whatever beauty I can create.
It's an expression,
It's
I
an
believe.
expression. Yes.
That's why in my book, Hope Re-Embroidered, Safe, I explore how we try to make sense of what we feel through expression, especially when the truth feels too difficult to say out loud or
True.
too heavy to carry in silence. When you make music, are you expressing something or trying to understand something you cannot say directly?
Absolutely. I mean, the thing is, with my music, I'm just trying to express myself as a person, as the things that I've been through. It's basically a combination between sadness, happiness. So it depends on that moment how I feel. This is and the way I try to express myself. So the only way I can express myself is through music, and this is something that people will definitely understand. Like, for instance, like, there's so many times I've been like on gigs, like, facing people from all over the world, and at the end of the gig they just come to me and say to me, like, we were like, we understand what you trying to tell us. We can tell you've been through pain. We can tell you've been through happiness. uh
Do you feel that you found your voice? Again, connect to my book. I also explore how people can feel like they have lost their voice over time. Do you think music gives you a voice or reveals the one that was already there?
well, the voice is already there, but it's just a case of rising that voice. I always say, like, even like, to the people that I recently been introduced to, that is, like, for example, I'm not a very good talker. I cannot make speeches, so I make speeches and make talk through my music. And
Wow.
I think this is like, it will reach more people, rather than, I'm not the kind of people who wants to talk for like hours and hours. I rather play one small piece with like maybe 2 3 minutes long, but that piece will say everything that I want to tell them about.
Safe, do you write your music as well?
Absolutely.
And what type of music do you feel, what connects more with you? Do you the sadness tone or the happy? What is more you? What do you find your soul wants to write?
Okay, as a human being, okay, you cannot be sad all the time, you cannot be happy all the time. So I'm sure there's a moment where you go through rough time, maybe other moments you go through like good time, happy time. So it's a combination. So I cannot just tell you, like, my music, it's always goes through like tragedy and harmony. It's just a combination. It just depends what I'm feeling. So
Yeah,
as a human being, I try to like show different types of emotions.
deep. Definitely deep. It makes you emotional. I would say depth, nostalgia, home, missing loved ones. I think every music is personal to each one of us.
Of course, of course. I mean, now as I show you, like the first piece I played was like sort of happy, optimistic. This piece, as you probably said, it's deep, sad. It makes you think about, the loved one that you've lost or something that you've lost in your life. So this is again, I'm trying to express this through music.
Homeland, I would
Homeland.
say.
In fact, this piece I called it "The Departure."
Wow.
Yeah,
Yes, there you
so
go.
you got it right. So
That,
you got it right. Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
song
In
you
fact,
feel.
yeah. In fact, this piece I wrote it when I was traveling, and I was, packing, and I was looking at my, I was looking at my bags and my briefcases, and I thought, okay, I hold my oud, and I wrote this piece.
Wow, it seems, it's that feeling of home we both can relate to.
The pieces I write, it's about me, it's about my life, all the things that I've been going through. Uh, Obviously, sometimes I go through some like difficult period where I cannot hold my music instrument. Because at the end of the day, as I told you, I'm a human being. Sometimes I go through difficulties. Life is not as beautiful as it seems.
Of course. That's why it feels inspiring, right? When you turn to music and start writing, because that's the place that makes you fully seen.
It's
Basic.
just like it's all about expressing your emotions through music. I mean, this is like, for example, instead of me saying I've been going through lots of difficulties, this, my music will speak on my behalf.
Do you teach music as well?
I teach music, of course.
Do you find there's a lot of people who share the same pain as you and they find music as a tool to express that pain as from your experience?
Okay, let me just I just want to clarify something. You know, playing music, there's like two important elements. First, knowing, the basic of music, and second thing is about your feelings. So sometimes when I play music, okay, I have to feel the piece that I'm playing. So it's all about, feelings. Feelings is very very important when you play music. Some people like, they play music but without passion.
Yes.
So it's about the passion. How passionate are you about music?
It's about everything: music, poetry, writing, speaking, even in relationships.
Absolutely.
You, your heart has to be in everything you are interested in. So important to feel it in our hearts that this is what we want to do. Even I mentioned in my book about silence, I write about how silence can feel overwhelming, quiet, almost loud in itself. Inside us, it's quiet, but it's loud. Does music feel like a way out of that silence for you, or a way to sit with it?
It's funny you mentioned about silent, because when we teach music, there's part of music which is called the silent, and sometimes they say the silent through the music is the music itself.
Wow.
Yeah, because even like, when we teach music, we'll say to them, like, sometimes you need to be silent while you play music, because in this silent, like, which will take like just a few seconds, but during those few seconds, people will be, just wondering what will happen next. So again, silent will takes a very important part in music.
Do you feel there's noises inside you in Hope Re-Embroidered? There's this deep thoughts colliding and emotions becoming difficult to process. When you create, does music kind of help organize what you feel because or reflect the chaos in your head?
Okay, Sometimes it's hard to express the feelings, okay? But what it is for me, there's, I have lots of things go in my head, not just music, could be anything. So sometimes I just feel if I don't play and try to express my feelings, I'll be in pain. So in a way, music, it's like a remedy, as I mentioned earlier. It's a stress relief, not just for me, for lots of people. That's why lots of people. I mean, I've never seen somebody who doesn't listen to music, any type of music. They have to listen to music because it's a way where I feel it's more of like stress relief.
Safe. So that when you mentioned earlier, there's times you're not able to hold oud in your hands and play. You're so passionate about music. What happens to you in that moment where even what you love, you have to put down in that period or period of time?
Um, the thing is, because sometimes you go through difficult period. So during this difficult period, you just feel you just need to be like alone, and you're looking for peace. Okay, so that period, which doesn't take long, you probably need, I don't know, let's say probably a day or two. I mean, I'm talking about myself. So you probably need a day or two just to be alone, just gather the things, like reboosting, is just trying to organize the things in your head. Once you do that, then you'll be able like to hold your instrument and play. During this period of the day or two, you cannot hold the instrument because you'll be sort of like confused.
Do you feel these are the moments where you actually create more when you go back? Inspires you new material.
Actually, this is what happens. We need, when we take a break for like a day, two, or even for a week, when we come back, we feel we are more passionate and we're more hunger to produce more.
Do you think music, when you went back to it, do you feel that music helped you move through that difficult emotions that you had?
Without a doubt, without a doubt.
Hmm.
Because at the end of the day, you know music, it's a tool that you use. So is it definitely help you, like to like cross barriers.
And also, did you notice things that you say in your music, you will never say it in conversations?
I mean,
Depends.
I mean, the thing is, as I told you, like for me, I'm not a very well-spoken person. Okay, so like even like when I get together with people, rather than just like talk about certain topic, I can like express this through my music. So if, for example, instead of me saying I've been away from my homeland, I've been going through difficult time, on and on and on go about it, if I play one piece, it will like send the message to the people that around me.
Also, as a musician yourself, what do you find other people don't understand about the effort that you put through the passion and what it takes to go on stage? The public, what would you wish some of them understood about artists in general?
um okay, there are a few things. First, people don't appreciate the amount of time that it takes us, like for practice. Like sometimes I play a piece that doesn't last for like a minute, but probably this piece, it took me like months just to practice and just to be good at it. So people sometimes they don't appreciate the amount of work we put in one piece. Or even if I write my own piece, lots of people they think, oh, probably you wrote this piece in a day or two. Sometimes it takes me years to create one piece. Depends on my emotion. I won't lie to you. Sometimes there's one piece, it takes me like maybe minutes to write it or to compose it, and sometimes it takes me years just like to put it together.
Do you feel it's it's fair, justify what you deliver, even if it's a minute, year, you sharing something you're passionate about, you value it. But I hope people don't always judge and expect because you're good at something, that means it shouldn't have big value to it. I don't know how, do you agree in that, Safe? Have you noticed a lot of people think just because you're good at something, this is something you're passionate, and it's art, music. People think that they take it very lightly because they think it's something easy. It's something that you create, and these are emotions and they're lyrics. It's sound, it's depth.
I mean, put it this way, like when I have like a new student, they come and then they expect like with one session that they'll be so good and expert about it. So when they come and then at the end of the session, they realize it's a long way to go. I mean, put it this way, I mean, right at this moment, I've been in the music business for years and I just feel I'm not even there yet. Because we
Wow.
learn every day. We learn every day. You know, you cannot stop. Music has a start point, does not have an end. You always
Yeah.
you always know there's more to learn. There is more to explore. There's always new things that you don't know about. So this is that's what that's again this is a thing I want people to know, that there is no such thing as, oh, this guy, he's an expert. There's no such thing. There's always something new to learn. No one has ever like become like perfectionist in music, at least.
It's effort.
It's
It's
effort.
passion.
Yes, I mean, let me put it this way. Some people, I would say, let's say, 80% talented, and they put 20% effort. Some people, they're like 30% talented, but probably they put 70% effort.
Yes. Would you say if someone doesn't have the passion in music and they force themselves, they're like, I really, really want to be a musician. Do you
Um,
think it's possible if there's no, your soul is not connected?
it is possible, okay? I can teach you music, but I cannot teach you passion. I cannot teach you the feelings. This is something I cannot teach anyone.
Have you come across students like that?
I've come, because now what happens is when someone plays music without putting any soul or feelings, it becomes like a mechanism.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean the thing is, and I've seen this. Lots of people, they play music, but sometimes without passion. So it is fine, but it's just you don't feel it. You don't feel it. You won't feel it.
Especially on stage, Safe, because everybody's sitting there and your emotions, you're actually showing who you are through what you're delivering. I want to ask if Safe, if you don't create for a while, what happens to you internally?
I just feel lost. I will feel really, really lost. Like sometimes if I don't hold my instrument for a day or two, I feel there's something missing in my life. In a way, it's just I feel like I have addiction to music.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's love. I think that's love, not addiction.
probably.
That's love.
I don't know how I could express this. Whether it's love, whether it's just because I feel like, for example, me and my instrument, I feel like we have lots in similarity. I feel like we're twins.
Wow. How many years been playing?
Um, Okay, so the thing is, I was, as I told you earlier, I was raised listening to music, but realistically, since the age of 14, this is when I started to learn about music, study music. So you do the math.
Yeah. 10 years.
Bit more.
It's a passion inside you, Safe, and I know how it is. So when you are creating, what comes first? The emotion, the lyrics, or the sound?
Okay, Now, this is quite interesting because now, if we're talking about how lyrics is connected to music, this is like a very interesting topic. Um, the thing is, if I have lyrics in front of me, or if I listen to the lyrics, I would start to use my imagination. So, so what I'll do, I will listen what kind of lyrics, or where is it heading to.
Hmm.
If it's deep, and if it's going through like sad stages, then obviously I need to go on the same line, of course. If it's optimistic, if it's happy, then again I need to follow, like, where the lyrics is going. So it's a very strong connection between lyrics and music.
Do you feel like the music sometimes gives you the lyrics, the theme of it, just like the note when you
Absolutely.
it's like two notes you can hit and it just you have the whole lyrics in front of you. The music is there. So it's like it's somehow you need to have the ability to have the full package in a way. The emotions, the connections, the ability to connect to everything that you love.
Yeah, I mean, as I told you, it's a combination between like lyrics and music. Sometimes what happens is, I just try to, like, once I listen to the lyrics, I start to visualize, or see if how I can match the lyrics with the music. It's just like you just having, like, a person, and you try to put on the clothes for them, so see which one will fit more.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's really nice. That's good way of putting it.
Yeah,
Definitely.
in a way it is like that. In a way it's like
It,
that. Yeah.
it is. And back to my book, Safe. In my
Yes.
book, I explore the gap between who we are internally and how we present ourselves. Do you think your music is closer to your truth than your everyday self?
Again, it is an interesting question. No, the thing is, subconsciously, we all been through a lot. Sometimes when I hold the instrument, there's one, tune that comes in my head, and I play it, and I'm thinking, where did I hear that tune from? I realize I heard it like maybe 10 years ago, or even more, and it's just coming now. So
Wow.
sometimes, like, the brain, will store lots of things, uh, and it will stay there, but it's just like you don't know when it will come out.
Does it happen to you sometimes when you're at work, when you are driving? Do you get, you
Everywhere,
know,
everywhere. I mean, as I told you, there is no certain times. Sometimes, like, while I'm sleeping, I just wake up and there's like music in my head.
wow.
So I quickly, but what happened is it vanished really quickly. It vanished really quickly. So if that happens to me, like when I first wake up, I will just go downstairs and either play it, record it, or at least note it, because I don't want it, like, to just vanish. Yeah.
Is that the only place you can fully be honest?
Yes. Because at the end of the day, my music, it represents me. This is who I am. This is what I've been through. Um, so this is my identity, basically.
That's beautiful. And I just wonder, say, I don't know how you feel sharing. What is something that you struggled with behind closed doors that no one knows about?
Been going through a lot. I mean, first, I always, like, miss my home. Um, I just feel like, something that's missing in my life. It's like, being with my relatives, being in my own country. So this is always like a missing, um bone, I will say.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
yeah, so that's one thing. The other thing, obviously, is just going, through, sort of like private things which I cannot really express, but I've been
course.
through a lot. I mean, I've faced like lots of things, difficulties, like like being people like no accepting for who you are.
Letting you down. People
Well,
letting you.
it's just to me, like when I first came here, it wasn't easy for me to adjust and adapt. And
Yeah.
I don't know if people, whether they would accept me for who I am. So this is the reason why I chose music, because this I felt music, it was like a shield.
Yes. Yes.
I don't know
Music.
if you understand what I'm trying to say through what I'm saying.
100%. Mentioned earlier, be honest. You can fully be who you are because you feel I accept myself and I'm not afraid to show it. And I'm sure music helped you understand yourself. Do you feel that way? Just you survived what you're feeling through music.
I mean, the thing is, as I told you, I felt like the music for me, it was like it was like a missing item.
That is so beautiful, Saif.
Yeah, when it's not I was looking for music, but I feel music has found me.
Wow. It is a way of connecting easily to your feelings and realizing that I can say how I feel without being judged. If your music could say one thing on your behalf without explanation, what would it say?
It will say this is safe. As simple as that. Simple as that.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, I'm just a human being. I go through lots of different stages, through lots of emotions. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm sad, sometimes I'm struggling, sometimes I'm being optimistic. We're all full of like complexity in our personality.
So,
Again, this piece I wrote it while I was in hospital. I was like lying down on the bed, and it's just like some tunes came into my head. That's why I called it a memory.
wow.
Because as
It's
I
so,
told you, it's about what you go through. Uh, so sometimes you are going through certain situation. You're in a certain situation, and you just feel that you want to express how you're feeling. So whether you are leaving or traveling, whether you're going through pain, like you're in hospital, or you're going through, I don't know, some sort of like relationship, things like that. So this is when you need to express your feelings.
and how does it feel for you when you teaching it? Do you feel the same passion?
When I teach music,
Yeah.
uh, there's the thing is, when I teach music to group of students, they always think we are impressed with you, the way you're feeling. So that's why I'm always saying it's about having feelings while you're playing, because there's no point of playing music um, without expressing yourself. Um, so like with my students, they always say we're trying to learn the feelings you're showing, not the technique, not the way you hold the instrument. Is we're trying to observe the feelings that you have.
Do you think that feeling that you have comes from pain or a mixture of homeland, emotions, and something that you just found yourself in music? That is your passion.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm always remembering my childhood, when I was at home, when we were safe, when I had like my neighbors, friends, relatives, we go out, things like that. So this beautiful picture is always in my head. Unfortunately, there is another side of the coin. So at the same time, we are traveling, we're struggling. we have to sell our house. I had to sell my toys. I had to sell
Oh,
most things that that were precious to me, my bicycle, things like that. So this all, like, I have this in my head. So there's a beautiful
right.
picture.
Iraq.
Yeah, yes, because
Iraq.
at the end of the day, it's a combination.
Yeah, but
So
back home, sorry, back home in Iraq.
yes. So
Yeah.
yeah, even I faced like two wars during my childhood.
Yes,
So I
yes,
always have this picture in my head. But again, it's a combination. It's a combination. I can't say to you it is just like it's always sad and tragedy. I'm sure there are happy moments. The thing is, Shahid, even while there was a war going on, okay, and we're going through a difficult time, we were still like we're going out and playing, and there's like shooting and missile on top of us.
uh,
So I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. So
yes,
so even during that, I would say that was like a difficult period, but still during difficult period we're trying to, like, stay alive or keeping alive.
yeah. How can others find that fire inside them, that passion?
Passion comes from the things that you go through. I mean, the thing is, you know, um, if you're going through like difficult time, um, it will like it will help you to to be stronger.
How can they connect to what they like? Because, I found what I love, right? You found what you love. A lot of people struggle to find what they love.
This is unlucky for some people. Some people, they spend all their life looking for something that represent them, and they cannot find it.
And it's inside.
Definitely, like, the thing is, there are things that is untouchable, like music is untouchable, poetry is untouchable.
Yeah. And I hope people who are listening, they can find keeps them passionate about themselves. Because I think once you find what inspires you within you, it's untouchable.
Absolutely, 100%. It's about knowing yourself. It's about really knowing yourself, know what you are capable of.
How can they start with you? What if your student asks you, say,
Yeah.
how can I start?
I will say, like, when it comes to music, um, how to start with is by, for example, by listening to all different types of music, whether it's Mediterranean, European, Spanish, because this will help you to build your music imagination. This is the start. The second thing, obviously, knowing the basic of music scales, because later on you'll have like lots of tools in your hand, and this is where you can actually find what kind of music you like, what kind of music you want to play, or what kind of music you want to write about. So these are the most fundamental element, I'll say.
Thank you for sharing, Saif. This has been a powerful conversation. I'm so honored to have you part of this conversation, Saif.
Thank you again, because I'll be honest with you, I'm so impressed with your questions, because these questions, they're not like just like general questions. These like unique questions about how to express your feelings, or like what sort of things, like helps you to become who you are. So thank you for your show, and thank you for having me. And
Saif,
I hope this is useful for lots of people.
it's definitely useful. Thank you for sharing your vulnerability, your emotions, because if you don't have the depth, obviously you're doing amazing. This is all from the heart.
Thank you so much, Shahad, and I really admire all the work and the effort that you are making, and it's always an honor. It's an honor, an honor to be in your show.
Thank you, Saif,
Thank.
for being part of the conversation, for trusting the space.
I'm only hoping that the audience will find this is like useful and enjoyable.